Hello, world. This is another episode of the Zike and Selly podcast. My name is Sully. I'm coming from you live from Killeen, Texas. Howdy, y'all. That's only the second time I've said y'all. We got Zach DaCosta over there in Dartmouth, Massachusetts. What up?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back.
So I'm moderating this one. We're ready to get down. We're ready to clown. I just had a great boxing session, which I'm going to touch upon later in the podcast, actually.
Boxing?
I'm always, I'm taking boxing lessons. I'm trying to become an amateur boxer. But really, it's just to get my ass in shape. But here's the deal. I guess I'll address this now before we get into stuff. I'm always hungry. Always.
Hungry as in for food or hungry for more boxing?
No. What, you kidding me? When I'm done with that hour and a half that they put me through, I'm like, I never want to pick up a set of gloves again. This is terrible. This is absolutely awful. I'm not even fighting people yet. I'm just punching a bag. Today I got paired up, and I don't want to be sexist, but I got paired up with a girl. And I was thinking, like, I don't want to hit the bag too hard. She was holding the bag. I was like, I don't want to hit the bag too hard. And then she, like, just took my top off pretty much, just, like, was rocking it, like, stamina. And I was like, okay, never mind. Last time I'm sexist. But, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a problem. I'm just always hungry. I've been, like,
it's not a problem. I'm this dude. I'm the same way, too. It sucks. Like, I when I work out, like, it makes me feel better. But at the same time, like, I'll sit down on the couch and I'll just immediately be hungry, like, right after a meal. Like, just tonight, we had burgers. And it was, like, I had a nice filling meal. And then hour and a half later, I just want to go into the cabinet and stuff my face with pretzels or chips or whatever. It sucks. It's the absolute worst.
I've been drinking a lot of milk, mostly because it's been on sale. Down in Texas, milk is pretty cheap. It's cheaper than gas. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a little bit inspired by the Milk Boys.
I can't drink a plain glass of milk. I can't do it.
You've never been able to drink plain milk?
Well, I can, but like I can't do it. It's just like it bothers me. Like I can drink like chocolate milk is fine. I can do chocolate milk, but like plain milk, I can't drink a plain milk in a regular glass. It drives me insane. It just
I don't know, man.
bothers me.
Might get a glass mid-podcast now that we're talking about it. I don't know. But
I mean, it's fine. I get that, but like I don't know what it is. I can't do it. It kind of grosses me out, but I don't hate milk. I just can't drink it plain.
You 2% guy?
I'm not an any percent guy. I just think it goes with any milk.
You know what's weird down here in Texas? Happened to me a couple times. I go to Starbucks or I go to get my coffee. They don't have Dunks. They only have one Dunks down here. It's on base, so I can't go to it. But I'll go to Starbucks. They'll say, hey, I'll take a venti, not a large. I'll take a venti.
I know exactly where this is going because my dad's complained about this too.
I'll take a venti iced coffee. Give me milk and like 3 sugars. And they kind of look at you weird. They say, milk? And I'm like, yeah, give me milk. And they kind of look at you weird. And then they put cream in your coffee.
Yeah, it's a Northeast thing, dude. They don't put milk. They have no idea. They think you're a lunatic. My dad told me the same exact story when he was on travel one time. He asked like a McDonald's in the South, or I think it was around Texas. It might have been Texas because he frequently goes down to Dallas a lot. And he looked at him like he had like 4 heads when he asked them to put milk in his coffee. They thought he was crazy.
Yeah, they were really weirded out. And then they told me, they were like, next time you want milk, ask which type of milk. Like whole milk, 2%. I was like, all right, I guess. So I asked for 2% the next time I went to Starbucks, and they're like, yeah, we don't have that. So I'm like, all right. So I'm a coffee black guy now. I'm just coffee black.
It's all right. I mean, it's a transition. What some people get if they're big coffee drinkers, but isn't that sort of make you a psychopath in a sense as well?
I'm definitely a little bit of a psychopath. But today, so here's my deal. I come into the office. I just made a fresh pot. You know, it's almost October. I figured it's about time. Pumpkin coffee. Made some pumpkin coffee. So I told the guys in the office that. They said, I thought you were a man. And I said, no, it's okay. I'm drinking it black. Game changer. I'm not a basic girl anymore.
Yeah, you don't have to, you can't, that's right. Like if you're not a basic white girl, you're not acting like one if you drink it black. But if you add like sugar in all the sense, like you had to Instagram it and then we had to take away your man card. Shout out to
right. Because pumpkin gets a bad rep, you know? Pumpkin beer, pumpkin bread, pumpkins.
I hate how they've taken over that. Like it sucks because it actually tastes pretty good. Like I'll be the first one to admit I would be lying if I never said I tasted a pumpkin spice latte before. It's delicious, but you can't like go to the counter. You gotta like, oh, can I get a pumpkin spice latte? Like,
give me a PSL.
Hey, my girlfriend's waiting in the car. Can you get me a pumpkin spice latte? Like, please, make it 2. Like, you can't go to the counter and ask for one because you automatically are a vagina as a dude if you get it. But it's ridiculous because it tastes great.
Yeah, but now I feel like girls can't even get it because they're you're getting
Oh, you're so basic.
spice latte. Do you want your leggings with that? Oh, do you want Kim Kardashian with that? It's like
Stereotypes are ruining everything, man. Sucks.
it's like no, I just love pumpkin. Give me some pumpkin bread, some pumpkin beer, all in one cup. Mix it all up in a blender. Put it in this. I'll be happy.
See, why isn't pumpkin pie considered that though? Like, no one has a problem with pumpkin pie, but it's just pumpkin everything else.
I think pie is just a man thing, right? Just a
man. I don't know, but like pumpkin, you're right, but pumpkin gets a bad rep everywhere except for pie. You can have a piece of pumpkin pie, and no one here sits there like, dude, you're so basic, or you're so basic. No one says that.
That's because pies are just like a holiday thing, though. When's the last time you ever came home and you're like, I could really go for a nice pie right now in the middle of August?
Yeah, I guess so, but I don't know. Like, I guess it's like it kind of just ties into the whole idea that like pumpkin is just got a terrible rep right now.
February 22nd, Ma, you got any apple pie left over? Like, no, whenever no one's ever said that in their life. So I think that's why.
That quick like little scenario you just popped in your head just made me think of Ma, the meatloaf.
Meatloaf, Ma. Where's the meatloaf? What is she doing? What is she
doing? It's taking
forever. What she's doing.
But all right. Anyway, so milk and pumpkin rant, I guess, is ending now. But like, it's some pretty good points you just made up right there. So we got Sully. You want to just bring up a couple things that we're gonna get into today? Just like
we're gonna do college football picks. That's why I got the A&M hat, not because I'm trying to blend in. We're gonna talk a little bit.
Squeeze the NFL picks in as well. We'll do that quick.
We'll do NFL picks.
Okay.
We're gonna touch upon World Cup of Hockey a little bit.
Okay, we can do that as well.
We're going to talk about the best duos and trios. I think this is stemmed from the Kardashians.
Of course it is. So that's like the latest internet thing going on right now. Is that the somebody tweeted out a picture of the Chloe or Kim? I don't even know what the hell their names are. I don't pay attention to that stuff. I know one of the Jenner sisters was a picture of her was there, and it was the two of them together, and it was like name a better duo, and it was like ... I'll wait. And then everybody on this is just blown up everywhere. You see like there's been some funny ones, there's been some serious ones, there's been some ones that are just ridiculous, but it's blown up into this whole entire thing. It'll probably die out in the next couple of weeks, but for now, I thought it was kind of funny like how many duos or trios we can name that are better than those frauds.
I saw one from PFC Commenter. I know we throw them way too much credit because we listen to them a lot. Also, don't listen to their podcast over ours. If you're watching this, listen to ours instead. But PFT Commenter tweeted out a picture and said it was the name me a best trio than this, and it was Kim and a couple of other ones. And someone tweeted out a picture. PFT Commenter tweeted out a picture of Aaron Hernandez, Riley Cooper, and Tim Tebow in Florida. I thought that was
good. God, that's awful.
By the way, Tim Tebow hit his first home run in his first ever major league at bat in the first pitch he saw.
Unbelievable.
Did you see that pitch?
Unbelievable.
My 12-year-old cousin, I'm not exaggerating, could have hit that over the fence. That was a meatball.
It's just like we can't get away from Tebow, and it's not even the part that like I hate him. I don't hate him, but he's just like continuously going to be popping up in different aspects of stuff that don't work out, and he just seems to find a way to make headlines. It's incredible, it really is. But
I'm okay with him doing the baseball thing. I think I don't know, whatever. It's showbiz. It's Hollywood. He got picked up by the Mets. That's a New York thing to do. I feel like New York or LA.
So we'll get into a couple mini things first. I want to touch briefly on fantasy football. I'm a wreck. I'm doing awful right now. Well, actually, it was week 2 of our league that all of our Dartmouth friends are in, and I had a week that I got 45 points in 1 week, and I had all my starters in. Nobody sat on the bench that had a bye. Everybody played, including I had first pick with Antonio Brown. So that plummeted me from second place to second last. Then the injuries and the ridiculousness. Okay, so Amir Abdullah, took a chance on him. I heard he was an injury bug last year. He gets a foot injury, put on IR. Okay, that's one. This sucks. Jeremy Langford, horrible pick. Hated it how it happened. Foot injury, out for 6 weeks. Sammy Watkins, he had games last year where he was good, but he was mostly injured or very inconsistent. and he's hurt now again, which sucks. And then just the complete dagger in my team this week, Josh Gordon going to rehab for weed.
How do you rehab weed?
I just don't understand. Like, I was reading a joke on Twitter today that the NFL is in on some conspiracy act that Josh Gordon is going to rehab for weed just so it can stay illegal in the United States, which at this point, it makes no sense for, like, if he's really struggling that bad with, because you can't get addicted to something like that. You can enjoy it a lot. It's a non-addictive drug, but
well, you can't get addicted to the substance, but you could get addicted to the high. Like people get addicted to gambling. It's like that. It's not like a substance.
Does he really feel that he can't quit this to not play? That's probably the whole reason why he's going to this place for rehab, because he truly believes that he would choose and go back to this in a heartbeat, even if it meant he would get suspended. Which seems like, God, it's really that bad. Like it's unbelievable.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Le'Veon Bell they never cease to amaze me about how stupid people can be in the NFL. And it's like Bell is such a great football player, but him missing drug tests and stuff, it makes absolutely no sense. So, I mean, I look forward to hopefully Josh Gordon figures it out and gets his life back on track. But man, it sucks. I mean, I'm not even going to criticize him because it's fantasy football. It's fantasy football. It's fun. It's not everything in the world, but still, God, it's unbelievable. That's all I got to say about it.
I guess the one thing I will say about this is that, I guess he does clearly have a problem. I don't know. Actually, I'm not even going to touch this issue. It's weed. I don't know. Honestly, if you can smoke weed every day and still show up to practice and be a productive NFL player, you should get a bonus, not suspended. You should be able to play more games. That's impressive.
I know. So that's all. I'm done with my little shtick on my fantasy team. Just had to bring that up on the table.
I have some fantasy. I have two qualms with fantasy.
Okay, go ahead. Go.
Right. The one, so Connor and Nick have been proposing trades for me for my wide receivers. I can only afford to trade one of them, and I'm not sure which one I want to trade, so I just keep ignoring them.
Yes. What's his name? Connor tried to trade today. He wanted me to trade Antonio Brown for Le'Veon Bell because my receivers are good. And this is before the Josh Gordon incidents, which I wasn't going to do, which was stupid to begin with. But I don't know. Fantasy's really pissing me off this year. Not doing.
Here's my big qualm with fantasy. The Yahoo app. I forgot my password. I don't know how it happened. I
don't even download the Yahoo app. I just go in Google Chrome and I just do it from there.
All right, so I have the app, and this is what happens every single time. I go to the app. It asks me to log in. I forgot my password. And then it asks me to verify my account. And I verify my account. It sends me an email. And then it doesn't ask me for a new password. It just logs me in. And I have not gotten a new password. So this is what I do. I can't just log into my account. Every single time I go into it, I have to send myself.
Well, you know what it is? Yahoo, remember they were under that scrutiny? Didn't hundreds of millions of their accounts got hacked?
Yeah, they got hacked.
Yeah, they're a complete disaster right now. I was just trying to log on the desktop just to get into my email for Yahoo, and they kept asking me to change my password and then wait for a phone notification to tell me that my password has been changed. Didn't get the phone notification. And the application for Yahoo sucks. I hate it so much.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's awful. It's absolutely terrible. But I just open up Chrome and use it from there. But at the same time, it's they're a mess right now. Even their solution to making sure their accounts are secure are just pissing their users off, including myself. It's they messed up, but it's a very, very confusing, just ridiculous thing that's going on right now with Yahoo, and it just sucks.
There's my rant. I'm sorry, I have to get that out of the way.
No, it's fine. I was dealing with the same thing today, so I completely see where you're coming from.
All right, moving forward, before we get into the duos and trios, about 15 minutes ago, Team Canada just came back from a 1-0 deficit with about 3.5 minutes left. Anze Kopitar took a stupid penalty. They got a power play. Someone scored. I don't know who, and then Patrice Bergeron scored the game winner. I think Crosby scored, but
I haven't been watching any of the cup final or anything, or any of the World Cup of hockey to be that matter. I was very confused at first. So the thing I didn't understand was, so they got a Team USA and they got a Team North America. So it's like what I'm getting is that all the players who suck from the USA played for Team North America, while the other people who might have been from like South America or the other crappy players from Canada are on Team North America. Is that how it is?
There's no NHLers from South America.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, no, not South America. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Yeah, see, I don't see. That's how my brain's in a pretzel about it.
So
it makes no sense to me.
Basically, they wanted a lot of the star players to play in it because they wanted.
Sorry about that. I don't know why I was thinking about the Southern Hemisphere. That was ridiculous. But like that's why I'm confused because there's a Team USA and a Team North America. What I meant to say was like you're looking at players that would Mexico qualify for a team for North America?
Absolutely not. Well, yes, they would if they had any players, but they.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so not more South America. I was thinking more of like Mexico in a sense, where like you have a team like you have Team USA, which was a team, right? Team USA,
right.
And then they had Team North America. So what I was proposing was you evidently have a second running up team. It was pretty much everybody that wasn't good enough to play for the USA is on Team North America. Is that how it works?
So here's what it is. It's all of the best players from Canada and the USA that are under the age of 23. So it was Jack Eichel, Austin Matthews, Connor McDavid, like Taylor Hall.
This is Team North America.
That was Team North America. Everyone was young.
Why didn't McDavid play for Canada?
McDavid didn't play for Canada.
I said, why didn't he?
Because they wanted to keep the teams competitive. And honestly, he probably wouldn't have made Team Canada anyway. It's too stacked. Basically, I think...
So it was a runner-up team, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think they wanted 8 teams. In the past, they've had the last time they did it was 96, I believe. And I think there are 2 more countries involved. But those 2 countries' teams wouldn't have been good enough. They would have been blown out of the water. It kind of would have been like the Olympics when, like, you have Team Germany and Dennis Seidenberg is the best player on the team and the rest of the team sucks, or something of that nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I got confused with how the locations work because like I was looking at like Europe, and I mean obviously you have like I was thinking like why do they have a Europe and they also have
North America.
Yeah, that to me was like really really confusing. I don't know like. Yeah, now I get where I'm coming from. So they had Team Russia, right?
Right.
Then they had Team Sweden, and then I got confused because I saw that there was a Team Europe. So it was like, okay, we got a bunch of runner-up teams, but like that to me makes it a little more confusing because wouldn't players from Russia and Sweden both qualify to play for Team Europe as well?
They would, but I don't think there were any Russians or Swedes on Team Europe. It was just the other countries that like Slovakia and the Czech Republic and stuff like that.
All right, so besides the fact that, like, for a split second, my IQ on geography went to about a negative 50, that to me confused me for a little bit. I don't know why, but now I remember that South America is not part of the Team of North America. You can't qualify for North America if you live in South America. I'll remind myself that next time.
Basically, all right, so the reason I brought this up is that Sidney Crosby needs to be a Boston Bruin because he played on line with Patrice Bergeron and Brad Marchand.
I heard people talking about this on Twitter too, because how good Marchand and Bergeron's line have been for Canada. What's the chances of that? Come on.
It's not going to happen. It will never happen. But which sucks because Gretzky played for 4 different teams over his career. Lemieux didn't. Lemieux just played for the Penguins, but like Yager's played for every team in the NHL. Messier played for 2 teams. Like I don't want to see Ovechkin retire a Washington Capital. You know, I don't want to see that.
How come?
Because he's, first of all, never going to win a cup if he does. And I kind of want to see him win a cup.
Like that to me is just like ridiculous because the Capitals all of the last season dominated the NHL. And then I don't know what the hell happened to them in the playoffs. It makes no sense.
You know what happened? Defense wins championships, and their defense just last year got decent. Not even good, decent. It was good enough to help them survive. And
I mean, they were like way out in the point total at the end of the season. It's just ridiculous that they just completely just laid an egg in the playoffs. It doesn't make sense.
Until they change their system, until they figure it out, until they get the forwards that will play defense, which Ovechkin didn't do until, no joke, this past year. They won't win a thing. They won't win a damn thing. And that is hockey brought to you by Josh. Hockey with Josh.
I'm trying to try and see if I can get a South America team going for hockey.
Do you know Nate Jones, the kid who played with me in high school?
No.
All right, he was a junior when I was a senior. He played on my line. Shout out to all the points he never buried that I gave him perfect goals to. I'm going to give him a ton of crap now. Mr. I can't finish, and he played in the alumni game, and he still couldn't.
Oh my God!
And I still gave him a ton of crap for it, even though like my
horrible nickname.
I think I'm the only one who calls him that. But yeah, he plays at Bentley, and Bentley has a pretty good club team. And he actually made team. Where is he from? Not Panama. I'm sorry, I can't remember it. But he plays for a team that plays for Olympic qualifiers. I'm blanking on this, but he plays for a team out of South America, and pretty much the whole team is people who have dual citizenships that are American. But they won the.
So are they any good?
They won. So they have different tiers of international play, and they won their tier. Now their tier is towards the bottom because it's like South America, and they play teams like Mexico. Excuse me, like he plays for Colombia. Excuse me, Colombia. So they play. He has dual citizenship. So they play like Panama, Mexico, like a lot of teams that aren't very good. But yeah, he plays international hockey. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and make that a thing. Team South America. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. But like at the same time, I feel bad for those kids. What about the kids? Don't you think they feel left out?
What do you mean, what kids?
The kids from South America that are pretty good hockey players. They probably felt like they were screwed over by this whole selection committee.
Oh, you mean
why can't they play in the World Cup of Hockey?
You mean all 5 of them? I think they were on the team.
They were on what team?
Team Panama, Team South America.
I meant like in the World Cup of Hockey. Like why didn't they? Why haven't the best players of South America? Don't you think they'd feel left out?
Nah, they suck.
Okay, I'm just saying they might as well give them a shot.
Oh, I don't think so. They suck.
Okay.
They can stick to soccer.
Well, if they were good, they have a spot open on Team North America. They can come play for our squad if they want to. So
are you calling yourself the GM of this team?
Yep, I'm the GM. I'll be a recruiter. You give me like 15, 16 years to get these kids ready and shaved for like hockey. I guarantee we can beat Team Canada.
I'll be your head coach. We got to pump money into the system though. We're not BSing around.
Okay, trust me. They all right. The drive and the athletic ability is there. If they can score a goal in South America, what difference does it make if we just put a stick and a pucking skates on them? They'll be able to do the same thing. It's great. So they have athletic ability down there. Anybody from South America that has any skill in soccer and stuff can easily, with a little bit of practice and some skates, figure it out.
Here's what we're gonna do.
Not to diss any hockey players. I'm just saying
we're gonna contact Under Armour.
Ability is there.
We're gonna contact Under Armour. Oh no, Puma. That would be cool. Puma. We're gonna get a sponsorship with Puma. They're gonna
Puma for hockey. Oh, genius! Love it.
There we go. We're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. We're breaking grounds. We're getting Puma hockey equipment going. We're starting the trend there. Maybe it creeps up to the NCAA. Teams here and there start signing their deals with Puma. All of a sudden, next thing you know, little Johnny No Shoes over here decides he loves his Puma Flex 45 and he wants to bring it to the NHL, breaking through markets. So that's step 1. Number 2.
All because I, for a split second, didn't understand why people from South America couldn't play for Team North America.
We just go to the poorest villages in South America, round up all the orphans.
I just turned one of the dumbest things I've ever said in my life into the most we just turned it into the most genius thing ever.
Can we patent it?
Yeah. All right. So let's patent it right here. So we are going to make a South American team, and we are going to try and qualify for the World Cup of Hockey, and Puma is going to sponsor it.
All right. So Puma, you'll be getting an email from us. This video will be attached. We'll tell you what point to go to. Maybe we'll make an audio file so that we seem a little bit more professional. But we'll have our people, which is us. Our people are us.
All right.
But we'll have them call your people. Puma.
Okay. So they can talk to one of us. Sounds great. I love it. So let's try to work on that and get that done soon. So we'll look at that going forward. Yeah. So that's it. That was our segment on the World Cup of Hockey, and also give you guys a little bit of a geography lesson just in case. So moving on to the next segment. What we got? Do you want to do famous duos and trios, or do you want to do the picks?
Famous. First, we'll do our top 10 famous duos. Do you want to do that?
You want to do duos? All right. Sounds good. Well, we can do top 10, or we can just keep naming off a list, or we can just do a thing where we can rally off as many better duos as the Kardashians or the Jenners.
All right, let's just go back and forth. Start naming duos and trios.
Sounds good. You go first.
All right, Hanson brothers from the movie Slapshot.
Oh, so see, I was confused. Were you talking about the Hanson brothers from Slapshot or the Hanson brothers the band?
I was talking about the movie, but I understand where you thought I was going. Also, the band, well, the boy group, the pop group, definitely
Way better trio than the Kardashians. Way better trio.
Way better.
Because I got excited for a second. I was like, you got the Hanson brothers from the hockey movie Slapshot, but then you get you got the Hanson brothers, so just incredible trio right there. I'm going to be honest with you. I did focus primarily on duos. I didn't really do my homework for trios, but I guarantee you I could come up with a couple great trios. Like you got Three Musketeers.
John Mayer trio.
John Mayer trio. I mean, that's a good trio as well. Thinking about three people in a group. The Beastie Boys.
Salt and Pepper.
That's a duo.
Yeah, but they're crazy enough that one of them counts for two people.
But that could have been your duo. I understand. It's Salt and Pepper. It's two things. It's a duo, not a trio.
All right. Well, all right.
What other person you're talking about there?
I'll save it. No, it's cool. I'll save it.
Okay. Let me think.
Best trio. Can we do like power groups, like Friends? Oh no, I was gonna say. Well, the kids from Stranger Things without Bobby Millie Brown.
You can't leave Bobby Millie Brown out though.
Yeah, but like we'll do that. That before she comes.
Fantastic. If you're gonna do it, well,
in the series before she comes into the picture, those three kids are a power team.
Yeah, they were a power team, but then Will was missing, so it would have been.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay. Well, for that like 5 minutes in episode 1 between Will going missing and Bobby Millie Brown coming in, power team.
Okay, I mean, that's a good one. Yeah, I like that.
I made that pretty forward.
Yeah, what I see. I'm trying to like think like television shows or just like maybe sports or something like that or music. Yeah. Damn. Rush. They're a trio.
Yeah, Rush is a trio. It's true.
Geddy Lee's voice is awful, but I mean they were pretty successful.
No comment.
You're gonna sit here and tell me that? Come on, Geddy Lee does not have a good singing voice. I'm only gonna say Rush is a good trio because they've been popular, but Geddy Lee's voice sucks.
Modern day warrior, mean pride. Today's time. Why do I keep singing today? I don't know.
And all right. You got somebody watching you for like a voice audition or something like that. I'm not really sure. Okay. Do you want to start naming duos? I guarantee I'm going to flip back and forth with this because I'm going to think of a trio that's awesome. And then
I'll flip back and forth. Duos that are great. Oh, wait, I got one more trio.
Shoot.
The Peterson triplets.
What are those?
They're from Dartmouth.
I was like, trying to think. Well, shout out to them.
You're trying to think of famous people? No.
I was like, where the hell are the Petersons?
I used to mow their lawn in middle school. So shouts to the Petersons. Love you.
That's awesome. All right. You want to try duos now?
Yeah. Duos. What did I? Oh, Salt and Pepper. We're going with Salt and Pepper.
Salt and Pepper now. Okay, that's good. Woody and Buzz.
Oh, that is a dark horse. I got one up. Nemo and Dory. Marlin and Dory.
Okay, then if we were talking underwater, I just beat you again. SpongeBob and Patrick.
Yeah.
Wow, fatality. You're dead, dude. I just won. I mean, it's over.
I'm sorry. There's not 3 underwater great duos. Let me think of an above water one, like a normal person. I'm slacking. The guy from In Cold Blood, Truman Capote, and the guy who killed, and this is a trio, Truman Capote, and then the 2 guys who killed a family that he wrote a book on.
All right, fantastic. Great trio. One update from SpongeBob and Patrick.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from. I'm sorry.
What about Simon and Garfunkel?
Oh, what about Hall & Oates?
Hall & Oates is another good one. What about Milli Vanilli?
Who? What? Who's that?
The guys back in the late 80s, early 90s that were like pretty successful, and then you found out they were lip syncing the entire career.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I mean, you got to give credit to those guys. They literally didn't have a singing ability, and they were famous.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
They had a few hits in the late 80s, early 90s. Milli Vanilli. Great duo.
I don't know if this qualifies for a duo, but Tears for Fears.
That's a duo.
Are they a duo?
It's pretty much the two guys that write the music, most of it, and stuff like that.
Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Greatest song.
Yeah, I agree with that. That music from the Big Chair is probably the most underrated album of all time. Love that album.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
What else?
The only reason I know of Tears for Fears because Ice Cube told me he hated them. He didn't. I'm sorry, he didn't tell me. I read in an article, so he told me through the article that he hates them. Ice Cube.
He hates Tears for Fears.
Yeah, he did back in the 80s or 90s or 80s or whatever he was in high school. He said he started writing rap because all the kids in his high school would listen to Tears for Fears, and he couldn't stand it.
So that's kind of weird, but I guess if you hear it a lot, I mean, you might just get sick of it. But
I hate Tears for Fears too. But
who does? Who else?
My dad.
He hates Tears for Fears?
Yeah, he doesn't like them at all.
That's weird. I love Tears for Fears. What else do I have on this list? I have Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco. Great steroid duo.
Good. That's a good duo. How about this for a trio? A-Rod, Jeter, and Nomar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot the whole shortstop thing. That's right. That's a good trio.
Are we sticking on the topic of sports? We can go.
So, yeah, so if you haven't said it yet, so shame on you that you've said the Capote trio and all this stuff and haven't even said this for a duo. What about Tom Brady and Bill Belichick?
Okay, all right. Well, I was getting there.
Are you even a Pats fan?
Might be. How about this for a duo? Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez.
Ooh. Too slow. I guess so. Yeah,
it was going really well before he killed the guy.
Yeah, before he killed someone, that was going pretty swell for them. What about Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly?
Yeah, that's a good one. What about Tina Fey and Amy Poehler?
That's a good one. What about the Sister girls from Sister Sister?
Tia and Tamara Mowry?
Yeah.
How do I know that so well? I don't know.
I might have watched a few episodes back in the day. Maybe so.
Back in the day, like 20 minutes ago?
It's not like it's on Nick at Night at like 9:30 or something. It's really not, though. Pretty sure that's Friends.
Bill and Cole Sprouse.
Oh, damn. That's a good one. Sweet Life and Cody. Big Daddy. Adam Sandler.
Yeah, both of those things.
Yeah, that is a great. That's a great one, actually.
Shouts to our friends Tyler Oliveira and Nick Pacheco.
Smeegs?
What?
Meigs?
Yeah. Schmeeks.
What else did I have on this list? Anyways, I had last one I put was the Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan and Night of the Roxbury duo.
All right. What about Matt Damon and Ben Affleck?
That's a great duo. Yeah, that's a great one, actually. I actually have another good trio, but people will argue that you can include somebody else in it and make it a 4-1, but I'm going to say the trio anyways. I'm going to say Mac, Charlie, and Dennis from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
So D's the other one?
No, well, you could say D, but D. Yeah, I'd say D was the other one. You could also include Frank as well. But I think those three, it was like for a few seasons, most of the show kind of focused on the three of them, and then D and Frank really developed into like big time lead roles afterwards. But a lot of the funny stuff kind of centers around those three, though.
Barack Obama and Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada.
I thought that was going Joe Biden, but I mean.
Oh my God, that should have gone Joe Biden. I'm sorry. That is a great duo. But you know why? Regardless of what you put their politics, they are so polar opposite, and that is why they make a great duo. Because Joe Biden's kind of goofball, and that's kind of putting it lightly too.
So there are a lot of better duos than the Kardashians and the Jenners, and we just named about like 30 of them.
I just wanted to. Do you know why Obama supported gay marriage in his first run for presidency?
Why?
Because Joe Biden blurted out. They said, "What's your stance on gay marriage?" And Joe Biden goes, "We love gay marriage." And Barack Obama actually hadn't made a decision yet on it. And he was like, Joe, fuck it. Like, he couldn't come back from that.
Exactly. I mean, once he says that, something like that, I mean, you kind of get on board with it. But yeah, Joe Biden seems like a cool guy. Putting politics aside, I hope nobody hears this and like verbally attacks me. Like, I can't believe you support them.
Oh,
you're saying,
oh my God, you like? Oh, you're such a liberal. You Massachusetts.
I'm liberal. Jesus, yeah, disgusting word. But anyways, that's pretty much what I got for most duos. I guarantee you, if anybody happened to listen to this and listen to our duos, they'd be just totally ripping on us right now.
Mortified that I mentioned Aaron Hernandez.
That's funny though. That's a funny one. But I think there's plenty of other duos you could probably look at and say that well, I don't know. Like I'm thinking like all like in history, like some of the best ones. But I mean, you could say Ruth and Garrick from baseball, another duo that's famous. Or a trio, you could look at the Rat Pack with Dean Martin, Sammy Davis, and Frank Sinatra. But then there was like two other guys that were included, and I'm sorry, I don't know the names off the top of my head, but
I got one for you: Oreos and Miss Bad Boy.
Oh, great duo. That's right, because milk as what you're doing right now, just chugging out of the gallon, is just it's absolutely disgusting. But
you mean this? That's pretty gross. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry if anyone has to catch this on video right now. It's just pure disgustingness.
We'll believe that. Take it out.
Yeah. All right, so that's what we got for our duos so far. So you ready? You want to move on to the college picks?
Yes, please.
All right, so you want to lead us into this? Just what did you think of like last week or anything like that?
Well, we talked.
I got the games right here on a sheet, so I can read them out loud. I picked like the best matchups, and then we can talk about those if you want.
Well, we talked about last week.
Oh yeah, that's right, we did. All right, never mind, screw it. Then you can listen. They can listen to the other episode then.
Yeah. Go back and listen to our shit.
Okay. All right. So, all right, I'll just name the games out. You can just respond to them, and then I'll follow up afterwards. So. There's a game going on tonight right now. UConn is getting absolutely murdered by Houston right now.
I was actually really trying to go to that, but Houston's like 3 hours away.
Yeah, it's oh yeah. Texas is a huge state. It takes like 15 hours to get to like every city. So, all right. So, well, here's the first game I have listed here. Is Miami and Georgia Tech. Now, Miami's ranked. Everyone's saying Miami's back. I wrote in a column that I wrote for our blog the other day that Miami is like, oh yeah, Miami looks pretty good this year. I don't know what kind of meth I was smoking that night, but Miami has played Florida A&M, Florida Atlantic, and Appalachian State. It's like, no shit. Obviously, they're undefeated. They should be, but they're ranked 14th. Yeah, so what are your opinions on the game?
I don't know. I haven't seen Georgia Tech since they barely squeaked out a win over BC.
Georgia Tech's 3-1. Their only loss is to Clemson, but they're 1-6 versus Miami since 2009, and the game is actually being played at Georgia Tech.
I'm going with GT. I'm taking the underdog, and I'm right. I got my notebook. You see that?
You got your notebook going GT?
It says GT.
All right, sounds good.
You know why? You know why?
Why?
Nomar went to GT.
Nomar went to GT? All right, well, Jimmy Johnson, Michael Irvin, and Emmitt Smith, all Super Bowl winners, went to Miami, and I still think Miami can recruit guys like that. So I'm going to go with the Hurricanes.
Your loss. All right, what's next on the docket?
All right, next on the king, Tennessee at Georgia.
Yeah, I think Georgia sucks. I think they are awful.
Georgia's awful, but Tennessee did not look good in the first half against Florida, and I still don't think Tennessee's that good. And I still think Tennessee is going to lose a game this year that is going to be very, very embarrassing.
Tennessee, I'm not even discussing this. Georgia is awful.
They're so bad. They are. Dude, you know how Tennessee is, though. They're that team that, like, they get a good recruiting class, they get ranked high, and then they just lose like an awful game. They played awful against Appalachian State. They were disgusting against Ohio University. And then in the first half of Florida, I don't even think they didn't even have a touchdown. They were down like 21-3 at the half.
Georgia's quarterback didn't know which way to turn for a handoff last week against Ole Miss. I'm picking Tennessee. They look awful. Their kicker sucks. Blankenship, whatever, Mario Blank, I don't know his first name. He's awful. He can't hit a field goal. their quarterback's a freshman. It's not really his fault that he sucks, but he does.
Considering Brandon Dobbs, is that his name? Brandon Dobbs, quarterback at Tennessee.
Yeah.
He's like 30. He looks like he's like 30.
Like Leonard Fournette.
Leonard Fournette is not a college student. That is a fact.
You know,
all right. I'll take your advice on it. Georgia, I've ripped on Georgia too, but the only reason why I'm not picking another team other than Georgia is because they're playing Tennessee, and Tennessee is that team that loses an embarrassing game every year. But I'll go with the Vols.
We're up against each other, so we're starting off either one.
Okay, this one is going to be an interesting one. I'm really excited for this game. Wisconsin at Michigan.
Ooh, that's right. That is going to be interesting.
By the way, the game I'm saving for last is probably the biggest game of the year so far. But we'll save that for the last one. But Wisconsin at Michigan, I was completely wrong last week about them playing against Michigan State. I was off. It was terrible. I picked Michigan State to win by I think 10 points, and they literally just got punched in the mouth by the Badgers. I did not like how Michigan played at home against Colorado, but then they came back and just buried Penn State alive last week. So, what do you got?
I'm going to go with Michigan. I'm not rooting against Harbaugh. Well, I'm not choosing against Harbaugh. I'm not rooting for him at all, but I'm not choosing against him just yet. I'm going to go with Michigan. Although, honestly, I'll probably eat my words because Wisconsin is just on a roll, and you don't just roll over and die when you're on this kind of streak.
I want to pick the Badgers, but, Michigan's tough to beat at home regardless of what I just said. I will still stand by that. As good as Colorado looked against Michigan, it's just something about Big Ten play when Michigan's good at the Big House, and it's just tough for me to pick against them. This is a hard pick. Wisconsin's defense looks pretty damn good the entire season, and yeah, Bart Houston is not the guy who you like. He's not a dual threat guy. He's an average quarterback, but he finds out to win games regardless of how sloppy it looked. But I can't go against Michigan. I'm gonna pick Michigan.
It's not a bad pick at all. I don't see them. I don't know. They're good. They're very good this year. Hopefully, we're both wrong though.
Next game, number 22 Texas at Oklahoma State. Game like Oklahoma State did to Central Michigan, you just die and you're dead the rest of the season.
I'm going with Texas. I'm in the Lone Star State. I can't pick against it right now. I don't know. They've struggled though. They don't look great. Yeah. I don't know. What are you thinking? Give me what you're thinking.
I can't pick Oklahoma State, dude. I can't. You do not recover in a game like that when you lose in that fashion to a team like Central Michigan. I'm going to go Texas.
But the thing is, I will disagree with you. I saw Oklahoma State play live last week, and they did recover. They played a very tough Baylor team and played them very well. They have recovered to an extent. They still lost. Their season's over. Not that they had a heck of a shot at anything more than a bowl.
Nobody in the Big 12 has a shot this year. Everybody's done. The Big 12 is the new ACC this year. They're just not even going to be considered for anything. It's a wrap. They just completely butchered their any argument that if we don't have a championship game, well, as long as we're good and we beat up on one another, and even in the early games, if we beat up on the teams outside our conference, then we can get it. Oklahoma got smoked by Houston. They got murdered by Ohio State. Texas beat Notre Dame and then laid an egg out in California to Cal. And then what do you got? TCU lost at home to Arkansas. The list goes on. Oklahoma State losing to freaking Central Michigan at home. And yeah, the game shouldn't have ended the way it did, and the referees messed up the call because the game should have been over. But the fact of the matter is, they were still in a tie ball game with Central Michigan. So the Big 12 is just it's a disgrace right now. So I'm gonna go with Texas that game.
Talking to Baylor fans, last week they were real nervous about Oklahoma State, but they're nervous about every Big 12 team, and that's because they're not very good.
I'd be nervous about anything if I was associated with Baylor right now.
Well, yeah, that goes unsaid. I'm not going to get into that detail.
Neither am I. All right, next game. Number 18, Utah at California.
I'm going with Utah.
I think there's going to be upset. I'm going to go Cal. Cal's at home. Cal plays pretty good at home. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game because the Pac-12, much like the Big 12, they just send the offense out on the field and a defense doesn't show up. So the first one to 50 will win, just like Herb Street said in the Cal ASU game last week, and that's exactly what happened. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. It was like, ASU was up like 44-41, and all I kept thinking in my head was Herb Street saying, did the first one to get the 50 points win? Then who was it? Cal kicked an onside kick. ASU caught it in the air and then returned it for a touchdown. So that sums up how high scoring the Pac-12 games are this year. So I'm going to go Cal.
What do we got next?
Oklahoma at TCU.
Oklahoma.
TCU is ranked number 21.
I know they are, but Oklahoma, man, they've got it. TCU's been a little bit, they lost to Arkansas. I know Arkansas is pretty good this year, but they don't have that juice.
Oklahoma's in dire straits of a big win. They need to beat a ranked team if they want to play like in a meaningful bowl game. Yeah. They have to win this game. I don't see how they lose, to be honest.
I can see how they lose.
No, dude, this is a game that Bob Stoops' job is on the line if they lose to TCU. He might get fired after that game if they lose to TCU. I'm calling it right now. If Oklahoma loses this game, Bob Stoops does not finish the season.
This game is being played at Jerry World, is it not?
Is it another game at AT&T Stadium? It says that TCU is the home team.
I could be wrong.
There was a game at AT&T last week when Texas A&M played Arkansas.
Yeah, you're right. I was considering going to that, but it was about $150 for nosebleeds.
I don't know. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to go Oklahoma. Oklahoma's in a must-win. All right, here's another game: Minnesota at Penn State.
Honestly, I know nothing about either of these teams, but Penn State sucks, so I'm going with Minnesota.
Yeah, Penn State is awful, but you know what? Penn State's at home. They have to win. I'm going Penn State. Minnesota is not too bad at home. If this game was being played in Minnesota, Penn State wouldn't win. But I don't see what's his name coming back to Penn State next year. Who's their coach again? Franklin?
No idea.
Yeah, their coach is Franklin. He's not good. All right, I'm gonna run a couple other random games down. We'll talk about those before we get to the big game. So here's another one I wanted to talk about. Oh, God, here's another big game I forgot to miss. Stanford, number 7 Stanford, is playing at Washington, who's number 10.
That's right.
That's a 9 o'clock game tomorrow night.
I'm going Stanford. They are in a, as slight as it might be, they're in an underdog position. They're playing at Washington, you said?
Yep.
I don't get that. I guess I didn't know that. I'm still going with Stanford, and I honestly don't have any good basis behind it. I'm just picking on gut right now.
Stanford didn't look too good last week. Did they play USC last week? No, they played USC 2 weeks ago. There was a team that they played UCLA. UCLA is pretty good. But I keep saying this about Stanford. Stanford is that team that I think they always lose a stupid game during the year that they should evidently win. I'm not saying the at number 10 Washington's like a game they should win. I think it's going to be a tough one, but they generally play good in big games. This is the biggest game that Washington has played in God knows how long. So they're going to be fired up there. Defense for Washington is very, very good. Stanford's offense is fantastic. I'm going upset. I say Washington wins a huge, not by a lot, but huge win for the Huskies. It really gets the program back on the map. But I also say this I'm not also going to be surprised by the fact that Christian McCaffrey just breaks out and runs for like 250 yards. Like he's definitely going to have a big game. That's definitely that's not something I'm doubting, but I'm going to go.
Fun. He doesn't. I don't think Christian McCaffrey's ever. He's like Luke, not Luke. He's like JT McCoy in Friday Night Lights. His parents never let him pick up an Xbox controller. He's never eaten any sort of barbecue. The guy just lives football.
Yeah, he's just like those kind of guys. They end up the ones who are serious and crazy about it. They end up winning all the whole thing for you, just like Tom Brady did for the Patriots many, many times. I've heard some crazy stories about how he acts in the offseason. But that's why the guys are winners. I'm trying to look at any other games that might have caught my eye that might be pretty good, but there's not really many of them besides the game we're gonna get into in a second. All right. Actually, this is a game I'm interested in. So Arizona State's playing at USC at 8:30. USC is terrible. But ASU was 4-0 despite playing horrible football like twice this year, but their ability to score a lot of points has also been something they've been able to do. I know Ballage, their running back, had 8 touchdowns one week against I forgot who they were playing. I think it was an early season game, but it wasn't a Pac-12 opponent. I can't even remember who it was, but they dominated. But what's your opinion on the game?
I don't know, man. USC is terrible. That's all I know.
Who do you pick? Who are you going to go, USC or ASU?
I'm going to pick ASU, but I haven't seen ASU play a single time this year.
ASU's defense is terrible, but USC is that bad that I think they're not going to win that game. But
I've seen USC play this year, and you're right. It's just not fun to watch. That is not a fun team to watch.
Yeah, they're a mess. They are. They got to figure something out there. I'm besides the Buckeyes, they're obviously my alma mater, like my team to go. But I love watching ASU. Really, like even it's always an exciting game because they just always the points are involved, whether they're scoring a lot of points or whether they just lay an egg and just get absolutely just destroyed. So I'm gonna go with the Sun Devils.
See, my team, my alternate team has been Ole Miss lately, and I don't know why. I just really like Chad Kelly. I have no other reason than that, but I've been a huge Ole Miss. I'm not a fan at all in the slightest, but I've been watching almost every single game they've played lately.
Okay. Now, let's get to it. This is the final game. This, to me, is the biggest game of the college football season this year. Number 3, Louisville, is at number 5, Clemson.
Yeah, they are.
This is huge. You know why it's huge? Because Louisville is hyped up right now. They just killed Florida State, and Clemson has been criticized all season. People thought they should have been number 1 coming in over Alabama because they had more returning starters. Then
that is ridiculous. That will never ever happen. I think people are stupid for thinking that it should. It's the same thing with Ohio State. Ohio State was number 1 the season after they won in the national championship, strictly out of respect, and they had to lose that respect in order to lose that top spot. It's the same with Alabama. Until Alabama loses, they're not going to lose that top spot.
Well, I also think that if you lose a lot of starters and stuff like that, you might get knocked a little bit. I mean, I thought it was a fair case to maybe put Clemson at 1 because Alabama rode heavy on Derrick Henry for most of the year, and Henry not coming back was a big, big setback for them. Not like it's crucial that they were going to drop 9 or 10 spots. They definitely had other guys sitting on the bench that probably would have been great players as well. But at the same time, it was a close championship game. Alabama did lose some talent, so I saw where the argument was. But, I mean, you're looking at how Clemson's played this year besides them just throttling South Carolina State the other day. They have not looked too great at all. So,
well, it's that pressure that you saw firsthand, man. The Buckeyes are coming off. They lose a couple starters. They lose a couple key contributors, and they're struggling a few games out of the gate. It's not
the
really
Heisman candidate, the NFL draft, and all this other hype going around it. So it's definitely some things you got to look at. Louisville's been a huge surprise, but at the same time, Lamar Jackson hasn't been much of a surprise. The guy was highly recruited out of college. He had some pretty crazy high school highlight reel tapes. So obviously, big test for Louisville. They're not playing in Louisville. The game is at Clemson, which makes it even better in my opinion. So, what do you got?
Gonna go with Louisville. I think they take down Clemson. Clemson falls pretty hard, and we see if Louisville's the real deal or not.
I think if Louisville wins, they should be the number 1 team in the country. And I'm not saying that because Clemson isn't deserving so, but you're talking about 2 teams before the season started that were ranked number 2 and number 4, and Louisville had not only just throttled one of them, but beat the other one. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. I don't think I'm going to go Clemson in this one. The reason why I'm picking them is because if they are going to make a statement, in my opinion, Clemson is out. They're done. Their playoff hopes are over if they lose to Louisville. And the reason why is because Louisville the rest of the season doesn't play too much in the ACC. They've already gotten through Florida State. Then all they got at the end is Houston, which is not an easy game by all means, but that game is at least being played at Louisville. So they don't have to worry about going back on the road to play another tough team. Whereas Clemson still has to beat Florida State. Florida State is pissed because they just got embarrassed. And, you can make the same argument for the whole way Central Michigan beat Oklahoma State. You lose like that, it ruins the season. But they lost to a good Louisville team badly. But at the same time, I think that Clemson is going to – They have to put on a big performance. I think a guy with Deshaun Watson being at home in a big game is going to show up. and I think Clemson's going to win, but it's going to be high scoring, and it's going to be close, and it's not going to be an easy one. So I'm going to go Clemson.
You know what's hilarious about all this? The ACC is so established now, and BC is still a part of it. Boston College.
It's awful. They are so bad compared to everybody else in the ACC.
Before I got my current job, I interviewed for a sports writer position covering high school sports out of Pittsburgh, about 30 minutes west of Pittsburgh. And I said, yeah, you know, I went to high school. A lot of kids who were seniors when I was a junior or seniors when I was a sophomore went on to play for big-time college programs, you know, like Georgia, UConn, BC. And the guy just started cracking up. And I stopped for a second. He goes, oh, yeah, BC's a big-time program. And I was like, all right, dude. Well, Matt Ryan was there when he was getting recruited, so I'm going to go jump off a bridge now, I guess. Thanks.
Yeah, I wouldn't even mention BC in the same sentence anymore. It's just it's really tragic.
Well, Georgia sucks.
What happened to them? I just remember years ago with BC, like when they would play in the ACC tournaments, even in basketball, like they were playing teams like Duke in like the semifinals and stuff before the ACC title. And yeah, they didn't beat Duke, but they had decent teams, both football and basketball. They just been falling apart, and they just haven't been able to recruit since.
UNH's basketball team, I believe, lost to Boston College by 5 points. That is a joke. You want to talk about a program that has no that is a hockey school. They put all their money in their hockey program. There's no basketball talent in New Hampshire to recruit from, and you're a state school. So there's no reason that game should be even close. And it was within 5 points last year. And honestly, if they play them again this year, I wouldn't be surprised if they win.
All right, so I mean, it's sad, but that's it for college pick'em. You want to do a quick rundown of the NFL picks and then call it a wrap?
Let's go, baby.
All right, so first game tonight, Cincinnati actually beat Miami 22-7. That game's over with. So Miami got their ass kicked in their ugly, disgusting mango smoothie colored jerseys. This color rush thing is disgusting. I hate it so much. It's awful.
The Pats jerseys look sweet.
Most of these teams, like, all right, I don't have a problem with the whites. The white jerseys are pretty cool and stuff, but it's just these.
You don't have a problem with whites. You don't have the.
Because the solid color whites look a lot better than like the all reds and the all oranges. Like these mango jerseys are disgusting.
I just don't like the matching pants because in most cases it doesn't look good, like the Jets or the Bills.
Oh, I get that, but it's just like sometimes it's just hard on my eyes, dude. Like seeing the brightness of the colors is too much. Like it is like if it's an all black one, it's not bad because at least it's like I can look at the game and it's like okay, like it's not bad. But like as in like bright red, like bright orange and bright mango colored and like in bright blue, like I am terrified. I am not watching the Seahawks game when they do Thursday Night Football because I know it's going to be disgusting, like bright, like light green and like the blue lettering and the letters. It's just I'm not a big fan of the color.
Are they doing that? Are they doing the neon?
They have to be. They loved all that neon stuff, and I don't like it. It's just like it looks bad. It's not good. I wouldn't have a problem like I remember when Ohio State did their throwback jerseys, and I'm not a big fan of it. They did the all black. They did the all black at Penn State. Those are awesome.
I was there for that.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right. You guys came out down for that game. So those jerseys were cool, and I know a couple of other teams have done it as well, but they just like all like the bright color looked. It just looks stupid.
I think you should have contrast. So I never think pants should match the same color.
I don't like matching pants or anything like that. It sucks.
There's a reason the Canadian tuxedo is not a real thing. It's not fashionable because it sucks. It's too much.
All right. So first game, Indianapolis and Jacksonville are playing in London at 9:30.
Thank God. Indy.
I'm not even going to watch that game. I'm going to sleep right through it. Colts. Yeah, Jacksonville's awful. All right, Carolina and Atlanta.
Carolina. Atlanta's pretty bad, too.
Yeah, well, Atlanta just came off a win against New Orleans, who's terrible, but, like, Atlanta's home. Carolina has problems. They got injuries. They also got a lot of pressure on Cam Newton this year. I'm going with the Falcons.
Bad move?
Not really, no. Atlanta's home. Oakland at Baltimore.
I will go with Oakland.
Oakland just seems too inconsistent for me. I'm going Baltimore.
Jack Del Rio, baby. Jack Del Rio. Come on board.
Yeah, I get the whole thing with Del Rio. If the game was in Oakland, I'd probably pick the Raiders, but something about their team just seems inconsistent to me at this point. I'm still not sold on them just yet, but I'm going to go with the Ravens just because cool Joe Flacco.
But he's elite.
Oh, he is elite.
Ah.
All right. All right. Next game. This is Puke City written all over it. Detroit at Chicago.
Oh my God! There's no way Chicago wins anything the rest of the
Yeah,
year.
Chicago might go 0-16. They're the worst team in football.
Jed Hoyer is their quarterback right now, is he not?
Yeah, Detroit. Detroit will win, but it'll be some classic ugly Detroit game where they win like 24 to like 10.
Yeah.
So next game, Tennessee at Houston. My boy J.J. Watt, overrated J.J. Watt, is done for the year.
So that doesn't make your case, though.
No, it just means that he's just like I think he's embarrassed. He's just making up an injury now.
Hey JJ.
Hey JJ. How indecisive? What about your teammates? Don't you think they need you?
Hey JJ. Some people don't have backs. Why don't you feel bad for those people?
That is the best segment of all time. It really is. And the other guys, just the other day on ESPN, is Russillo and Cannell. They were saying it on air. Like, they were just like, he's like, you ever seen the Barstool Hey JJ thing? They're like, hey JJ. He's like, he had, Russillo was talking about, like, yeah, they had some tweet that JJ Watt sent out that said, today was a good day. And then Russillo was like, hey JJ, spoiler alert for us on the West Coast.
When he tweeted like Drake lyrics, and he's like, oh man, not again. And people like, hey JJ, why don't you shut Siri off when you're alone? Hey JJ, it was awful.
The injury one was even bad. You go down the whole list, there's just thousands of hey JJ
within 2 minutes. No joke, within 2 minutes.
It's a great segment they have going on over there.
I snapped it today.
Next one, Tennessee at Houston.
I'm going to go with. Still going to go with Houston.
Yeah, the fact that that even crossed your head for like more than 4 seconds is baffling. Tennessee's awful. Houston.
Yeah, but I mean, the Texans was pretty bad last week.
Buffalo at New England.
I'll go with the Pats.
Really? Oh, that's a shocker.
Do I have a Tom Brady poster in my room? No, but only because I haven't bought one yet because I just moved to Texas.
Patriots. All right, Seahawks at the Jets.
That's not outrageous to think about that though, because the Bills are coming off a big win, and the Patriots don't have a quarterback.
The Patriots are at home. They're going to win the game because Belichick just does not lose at home, and he doesn't lose to the Bills. Very rarely does the Bills win. So
did you hear Bill? They asked Rex Ryan. They said, "You describe yourself as an above-average coach, but against the Patriots, you have like 7 less wins than the average coach does. Wouldn't that mean you're below average?" And he said something, and then that same reporter goes, "Any thoughts on Tyrod Taylor?" And he goes, "Yeah, whatever. Above average quarterback. You guys are going to write whatever the hell you want anyway. Fill in the blanks."
That's awesome. Yeah, the next game is Seahawks at the Jets.
I'm going with the Jets. The Seahawks are rattled.
The Jets just turned the ball over 8 times last week.
Oh my God, you're right. I know, I forgot about that.
Ryan Fitzpatrick threw 6 picks. If he plays the same way he does against Seattle, they're gonna lose like 70-0. I'm gonna go Seahawks. Seahawks have to win. All right, here's a fun game to watch. Cleveland at Washington.
Return of RG3, kind of.
He's on the injured reserve.
Yeah, that's why I said kind of.
Yeah, I wasn't even putting 2 to 2 together.
I'll go with Cleveland. It's a toss-up.
I can't think of a game that'd be worse than like a Cleveland Chicago game right now. Would probably be the worst thing ever. Washington will win this game. Denver at Tampa Bay.
Denver.
Yeah, Denver. Denver's going to win. I benched Jameis Winston this week in fantasy because Denver's defense is just unreal. Here's an interesting one right now. So if the Jeff Fisher philosophy chart plays into effect, LA plays at Arizona. LA is currently over 500. So that means the Rams have to lose a game.
Well, nah, they're going to win.
The Rams or the Cardinals?
The Rams.
You go LA?
I'll go with LA.
I'm going to go Arizona. All right, so New Orleans at San Diego.
That's a crapshoot. I guess I'm going with the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Saints, just because I just like I still don't have faith in San Diego just yet. I don't know. There's something about that team I just don't like. Wow, there are a lot of bad games this week. Dallas at San Francisco.
I'll go with Dallas. I don't see
Yeah.
St. Fran doing well at anything in life.
I heard Colin Kaepernick might start in the game. That would be wild. You know what? That's something to me. If he starts, for some reason, as bad as everyone's like run him off the past year, and especially with all the off the field publicity or technically on the field publicity he's brought towards himself, I should find a way that he is going to win this game, and everybody is just going to be just in an all-out brawl on the internet about this. I honestly, all right, so I'll say this: if it's Cowboys versus Gabbert, Cowboys win. But if Kaepernick starts, somehow the 49ers are going to find a way to win that game.
Yeah, I can see him just turning on the FU factor and just going for it.
Next one, the Kansas City Chiefs play at Pittsburgh on Sunday night.
I'll go with the Steelers.
Yeah, me too.
No one knows what's going on with the Chiefs.
I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. Monday night game, New York Giants at Minnesota.
I'll go with Minnesota.
Oh, yeah, Minnesota looked pretty damn good against Green Bay.
Yeah.
And Eli Manning throws a lot of dumb interceptions, and Minnesota's defense at home, they are very, very good. Team to look out for. So, all right, those are the picks for the week. Any final thoughts you got?
I'm going Austin City Limits Music Festival next week. So, yeah, I think I already mentioned that one. But be on the lookout for that. That's all I got, man.
Yeah, I'm just going to cruise right into the weekend, and should be an interesting one. I will not be watching football this weekend. I just read off all the games, and there's none of them on here that I'm interested in watching. Hopefully, I'll be checking my fantasy football update. But Saturday, I'm ready for Saturday. College football is going to be dope this weekend, so I am so pumped for that.
Saturdays are for the boys, I hear.
Yeah, they are. But it's starting to kind of run its course a little bit, though I did order a Saturdays for the Buckeyes shirt today.
Yeah, I need to get a Saturdays for the Wildcats shirt just so I can wear it to Austin City Limits.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
I'm pretty excited for that. Yeah, that's all I got, man. Oh, hold on. This is my final thought.
All right, you say your final thought and then send us off, bro.
This is my final thought.
Go. You drink milk? All right, well,